Well, you know, those of you on here who have been subscribers of my channel for some time, you know, over a year or so, you know that I don't very often get pissed off and outraged like this. But there is a time when you have to voice your anger about certain things, and this is one of them as far as I'm concerned. Now, people who still want to give Obama the benefit of the doubt as far as all other issues go, and these aren't going too well either in terms of the economy, in terms of his healthcare proposals, which is now being tabled as far as a universal healthcare is concerned. People who are for single-payer healthcare aren't even invited to the table, by the way. This particular issue in terms of torture, war crimes, and so on, this is where I draw the line. And as far as I'm concerned, if you're just going to be a middle-of-the-road person on this kind of issue, then you're basically going to be okay with anything that anyone does. As far as I'm concerned, every person has to have some sort of a moral center, and that's, you know, I guess that's up to you. But at this point, if this kind of thing goes on and is not prosecuted, when at the same time U.S. soldiers and others were prosecuted for the very same thing in prior wars, it is the height of hypocrisy, and the entire rest of the globe knows this. I mean, people are not stupid. So unless we can make some amends here and do it quickly, we are all, as a population, going to pay the price for this. Because, you know, well, just as a personal aside, you know, I was born in Germany, post-war generation, post-World War II. And, you know, the Holocaust in Germany happened. And everyone, every German citizen, including my parents, were just kind of ambivalent about it, didn't take a stance, and, you know, didn't affect them really directly. They weren't really being targeted, and so as long as it wasn't them personally or their families, everything was fine. Well, guess what? There was a Nuremberg tribunal, and there is such a thing as collective guilt. And especially in this case here in the United States, when everybody knows and is well informed, or should be at least, as to what has been going on. And if this isn't the time for people to speak out, then I don't know what is. I don't know what else to say on here for people to look up some history at least in order to expose this complete hypocrisy now coming from Obama. You know, it's not just about elections, parties, liberals versus Republicans or whatever, you know. Most of us know that the whole power structure is basically completely corrupt to begin with. But there comes a time when people need to start speaking out. And I don't see anybody doing it. Even with this whole banking crisis, and that's bad enough, and it's still ongoing, you know, only a few voices out there are directing their anger towards the top. As soon as some other news item comes around, you know, people get distracted and just say, oh, well, maybe we should just give the guy some more time. I don't think so at this point. This is where I draw my line in terms of giving anybody any more time to set things straight. This is 3 months or 4 months into the presidency, when there is no excuse for making decisions which will bring about change, right? Fundamental change. This is the kind of platform that Obama campaigned on, and what we're seeing is essentially the continuation of most of the policies that President Bush and his team have set into motion and set into play. There are no fundamental changes at this point as far as all major issues are concerned at 3 months or 4 months into this administration. And he had the mandate to do this. The people voted for this guy to make those changes, and he's not doing them. He's pussyfooting around. He's not making any bold decision as any qualified leader would make at this point. No, he's vacillating. He's basically kissing the ass of the elites which were instrumental in electing him, including us little people, you know, to get us all on board. And it has to stop somewhere. People need to know what is going on. This is a travesty. People should pay attention to this. And I'm sorry I'm going to offend some of my very ardent Democrat friends on here. You know, I used to be a Democrat too. I left the Democratic Party basically after I voted for Kucinich. But and I also, and this right up front, I also voted for Obama because I simply didn't want McCain and Palin in office. But that's probably the only reason why I voted for the guy in the first place. And I now realize that this may have been a major, major mistake. I wouldn't go so far as to say, you know, I'm sure some of you have watched the Obama Deception, you know, that movie that came out, I don't know, published by Alex Jones or whatever. I wouldn't go quite that far, but there are not going to be any changes, not the ones that people expected anyway. So we live in precarious times, and people need to speak out and let not only their representatives hear it, but their co-workers, their colleagues, their friends, everyone. Enough is enough. If we can't turn this thing around now, it's too late. And, you know, we're going to be living under a soft pillow dictatorship here within the next 4 years. And of course, my other prediction is that at this point, and I might be wrong, once these changes that people were trying to vote in are not being implemented, guess who wins next? Guess which party comes back into power? And everyone's saying on these liberal blogs and so on, oh, you know, the Republican Party is just, you know, completely destroying itself and so on. I would caution you to think along those terms. There is, I believe, a bigger game plan here, and you know, both parties are in collusion with each other. They're protecting their higher ups, as well as the elites at the very top, the financial elites, basically, who are running the show. So I wanted to do a little bit calmer follow-up on my last video here, but that's basically what I think about it. Thanks for listening and taking up your time.